I think as a county, yes, we are a welcoming county. The county has signed up to the Syrian resettlement program, which is bringing about 500 Syrians through the Syrian resettlement program, and they are being welcomed and well supported. We also have hundreds of asylum seekers across the county who are very well supported by individuals, churches, faith groups, voluntary sector. So generally I would say yes, we are a very welcoming county. Schools are very welcoming, but obviously there are incidences of hate crime, individual incidences of hate crime.
But is that about people who, if you like, ignorant, and also people whose minds you'll probably never change, and they're always going to have this kind of mindset?
Of course, I would say it's to do with ignorance, but it is very much to do with many people never having met asylum seekers or refugees,
isn't it?
and so they have this idea that is perpetrated in tabloid newspapers and by right-wing parties that we are being invaded by these hordes of people of other faiths who are here to commit crime and bring disease, very much like Trump's rhetoric about the caravan from Latin America. So I think many people's associations with asylum seekers and refugees are based on the fear that is perpetrated by right-wing elements and certain newspapers. But actually, when people actually meet asylum seekers and refugees and realise they're not so different from us, things change then.
Those worries you expressed, though, are they a very small percent, or are they a significant percent, or what are they?
I don't know what the surveys are, and I can only really speak for Lancaster. We have about 120 asylum seekers in Lancaster and about 100 refugees, and there have been very few instances of hate crime. So I would say it's very small. But then we work in a particular sector, so I don't know if you went to another sector, you might find a lot more.
But your sort of experience really is that we're a welcoming county, and you've got this conference today where you're addressing three particular areas really, and hoping to progress further in those areas, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lancashire County Council is showing real leadership in making Lancashire a welcoming county, and the city councils across the county as well. Lancaster City Council is very positive. We have cities of sanctuaries, so these are networks of groups in different areas of Lancashire, and Lancaster, Preston, Blackburn, I think is developing one. So there's a real, on that statutory and voluntary sector, there's a real commitment to welcoming asylum seekers and refugees. But there are still the whole process of applying for asylum and is still very, very difficult. So this morning, what we had was a big simulation where all the conference participants took on different roles of asylum seekers going on a journey, sort of facing, in the UK, facing the Home Office, facing housing issues, employment issues, schools, doctors, dentists, in a language that they didn't understand, and in a system that they didn't understand. So it's still a very, very stressful experience for asylum seekers and refugees. And so this conference this afternoon, we're going to be looking at these three areas of housing, education and employment, and health, to look at how the voluntary and statutory sector can work together to make these processes less challenging and less stressful for asylum seekers.
So as a county, you feel we're doing pretty well, really? We're not doing that badly. We could do better, perhaps, but we're doing pretty well.
I think the county's doing well, yeah. You should speak to the county council officer, Saulo Querner, for his views.
I'll do my best on that. Just one final point. You sort of hinted at the events going on in America at the moment. Is it a bit of a hindrance to you that the President of the United States is Donald Trump?
A hindrance to me?
Well, not necessarily to you, but to our attitudes, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know how Donald Trump is influencing attitudes in the UK. I mean, I think there are probably right-wing elements who are pleased to see that somebody like Donald Trump is voicing what they feel and getting away with it. So I suppose there is a concern that those people might feel more vindicated and therefore more vocal. But actually, I think Brexit did that much more than Donald Trump. I mean, we saw after Brexit, people felt much more confident in being racist because the vote had given vindication to the anti-migrant feeling. So I'm not sure that Trump is...
Brexit's on a Trump's Trump, if you
yes,
like.
Yes,
put it that way.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to me. Thank you.
Thank you.